This week on Phasmaphobes.
Like a church.
The body of Christ, innit?
She was allergic to Christianity and it came from nowhere. And the problem for her was that she was aware and she couldn't understand why.
What was...
And several of the more hench nuns held her down.
What does a hench nun look like?
I don't know, they were just like...
Reading an AI model of a hench nun.
Come to my church because I've got loads of strong nuns.
Hello and welcome to Phasmaphobes, the podcast where the lights go out, the EMF starts to spike, and the line between the living and the dead grows dangerously thin. Tonight we're going to bring to you the mysterious case of the
Earling
Earling possession. First of all, we are your hosts. I am Declan and this is Lydia. So,
before we start, what
Yes.
is the scariest thing that's happened to you this week?
I had to go back to work, back to the day job, back to the 9 to 5 after 4 weeks.
How did you do it? That's enough to send me to a psych ward.
Well, having 4 weeks off or
Yeah.
going back to work?
Having 4 weeks off and then having to go back to work.
Because I had to work on
I have a
our
wobbler
new
coming
material.
back after Christmas. Yeah.
Someone had to take some time off to do it, so,
Yeah.
you know.
True that.
But yeah, spent that month editing, but the scariest part was going back to work.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone has to. Children need to be educated.
I
I'm not an
suppose they
educator,
do,
by the way.
but he's there.
But I'm there.
Yeah. My scary thing, I actually gave you a teaser like last week.
Is this the thing that you said you weren't going to tell us, but you
Yeah,
you
and then
have
I
to
sat
save
on
it
it.
for the pod?
So someone told me something that's really freaked me out and I've thought about it ever since. However, I'm not going to say who told me to like protect their identity.
Can you tell me off? Or can we at least put it?
I did tell you last week, and if you don't remember, I will remind you.
Yeah. We'll put a little ghosty in.
Yeah. Okay then. It was me.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beep. So we were talking about the previous episode where we were on about doppelgangers.
Yes.
And discussing like experiences we've had. And then she said, "Oh, I was Googling skinwalkers the other day."
Oh,
And I was thinking,
of
that's
course she would be.
out of character.
For her, it is.
Yeah, for this particular person.
Yeah.
And she said that she was Googling them because she keeps seeing people without a face on Raby Road.
What?
She was like,
Like
"What is
just
it?"
like specifically just Raby Road.
She said, "What is it about all these faceless people on Raby Road?" So then I was like,
Excuse
"Do
me.
you mean like,
The local crackheads?
yeah, do you mean druggies who are like all sunken in?" She was like, "No, they have no face." She said,
Just blank.
"Yeah." She said the walk past where the old cinema was, which is now been demolished,
Yeah, on the corner.
in near enough normal clothes, although they do look a bit raggedy, and they do not have a face.
How often does she drive down Raby Road?
Not often. And to be honest, I should have asked her, like, how often have you seen them, this, that, and the other, but I was so
Taken
shook
back.
because she's a really trustworthy
Yeah.
source. She doesn't drink. She obviously doesn't do any
No.
drugs. I'm sure she gets her 8 hours sleep, and she's had her eyes done. Like, this person who I'm talking about is a really reliable source.
She is. I can back that one up.
So we need to have a walk. Well, maybe
I think
a drive
what
down
we
Raby
need-
Road.
Is a interview with this lady.
Yeah.
Is a
And we can-
a silhouette, and we'll put a voice generator
love
on.
it.
I know.
Yeah.
We'll book you in next week.
Right. Anyway, we're going to dive in because this is a bit of a
No, I'm
longie.
sorry. I need to know more about these
This
faceless
is all
people on
I've got.
Raby Road.
This is all I've got. I will inquire and ask Mum.
I think we need to maybe just go down Raby Road one night and do a little TikTok live or something.
Well, I was thinking driving down
In
in
the
a car with
safety in the
locked
car.
doors.
Oh, I'll get out, me. I'll
Hey.
take the Osmo.
Well, there's a chance that you won't come back.
It's only it is Raby Road.
It is all for
But-
good content, though, isn't it?
It is.
It'd be found footage, you getting chased down the street by a crackhead.
Snot bubble.
Right, let's talk about this.
Are we then?
I tell you now, it's a good story. This is the Earling possession. It's also more widely known as the Exorcism of Anna Ecklund.
Anna Ecklund?
And I have to be careful about that because
'Cause
that's not her real name.
Oh.
Her real name is awfully similar, and I might slip up. And if I do, I've accidentally told you her real name. But I'm going to try
are we
not
not
to.
meant to say the real name?
Well, we can, but I just find it a little bit disrespectful because obviously she was given a fake name to protect her identity, and it's not her fault that her identity came out.
Okay, what's her real name then?
Are we beeping it out?
Yeah, of course.
She's called and Anna are like, in my head, the same name.
I'm going to have to beep that so many times.
Sorry about all those beeps. Right. The story is mainly set in Iowa, which is... I shouldn't have said which is because I can't tell you the exact geographical point in which it is.
It's in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be like, it's on the western coast, but I know it's not.
Oh, it's a bit of a big country.
Yeah.
It's somewhere
It's a place.
it's somewhere in that little mass.
And within Iowa, there is a place called Earling, and in 1928, it was mostly known as a small farming and railway community.
Mhm.
It was full of open fields, isolated farmhouses. It was the sticks.
So is this like, what year are we talking here?
1928.
All right, okay, so it not very developed yet.
Yeah, there was a population in this town of 300 people, roughly, and it was one of those.
Many at all.
No.
There's more people in this village than that.
More people in this house right now. I
Yeah,
think.
there is, I think.
And it was the kind of place where everyone knew their neighbours naturally because there's so little people. I guess a lot of people are related.
You could know all 300 of those. You're probably marrying your cousins.
Yeah,
And yeah.
especially in 1920.
Yeah.
And it was also a very religious place, as it tended to be in those days anyway. And the reason I'm talking about this quite religious town is because this is probably the perfect place to hide a secret, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the whole town could be in on that secret.
Well, that was the plan. The plan was that it was going to be a secret because priests believed a woman could be brought into Earling under an assumed name, the name I've mentioned, which I'm not going to say again because I'll probably get it wrong. And then she could be taken away from her normal surroundings so that a ritual could be carried out in secret.
Wait, so this is planned?
This is planned.
So she didn't come to them possessed. They made her possessed.
No, she came to them possessed.
All right, okay.
And they thought the only way they're going to be able to solve this problem is if they ship her off. I think it was 5-hour drive away.
From where they live.
From where she's from. Yeah. Totally new surroundings, a quiet place, no peering eyes. And zap whatever the hell was out of her.
Right, okay.
That was the plan, anyhow.
Perfect place for an exorcism.
Exactly. The woman in the centre of the story is publicly known as Anna Ecklund. That is her assumed name. I'm not going to say it again because I will get it wrong. She was reportedly born in 1882 in Wisconsin, which is obviously why she was took all this way. She was commonly described as the daughter of German immigrants, quiet, reserved, and sweet. However, there is a very, very little about her other than that.
So we really don't know anything about her history, who she was as a woman.
It's very limited to what you know about her, which means that the stuff that we do know about her is a lot of hearsay. Mm-hmm. Not from people writing fiction. It's hearsay from priests and nuns and people who were involved in this. So if you trust...
there's no written documentation.
There is. It's been turned into a novel.
Right.
But it's not from her mouth.
Yeah,
it's not from my mum's mouth. It's not from my dad's mouth.
A priest's perspective.
Yeah. Which means that you can probably take much of this story with a pinch of salt, but people don't. People really get the shivers off this one. She was, like I said, a quiet child. She was raised by a very Catholic mum and a very anti-Catholic dad. He hated the fact that they went to church. He sort of boycotted the whole thing. He
wasn't a religious man.
No. To be honest, he sounded like a slime ball.
Oh, they always are.
Yeah. And around the time that Anna turned 14, it was around that time her mum passed away. Also around this time, with all of these major things going on in her life, like puberty, the coming of age situation, and losing her mum, a strange thing started to happen to her, and that was that she almost grew an allergic reaction to Christianity. Yeah.
Like she'd come out with a rash if she went to church? Or...
Pretty much. So obviously she was used to going to church. She found comfort going to church. It was something she did with her mum. She had a lot of friends there. And suddenly she just couldn't physically go in without having a panic attack, without vomiting, without freaking out. If people mentioned the Bible to her or something Christian
She'd
to her, she would
squirm.
have like a rage fit where she'd be fuming. Also, when she was given communion, she would physically vomit straight after in front of like a
The
church.
body of Christ, innit?
She was allergic to Christianity and it came from nowhere. And the problem for her was that she was aware and she couldn't understand why.
What was going on?
Yeah, she was like, "What? All of my friends are here. Like, my mum's just died. I want
This
to
is
then.
my place of comfort.
This is where I want to be, and
this is
I
my
physically can't
congregation.
go there." And you could argue at this point that obviously grief, instability, depression, isolation, these are all things that are going on in her life,
Mhm.
which could be a cause of some of her strange behaviour, maybe her anxieties and that kind of thing. But it's impossible to know exactly how she was affected because this, again, is all hearsay. So bear that in mind. Another thing that she started to present, I mentioned she had these rage fits,
Mhm.
angers and that kind of thing. She also had strange, how to put this in a compassion, I don't know how to say this in a proper way, but she was
Right.
having very violent sexual thoughts, and she's a 14-year-old girl.
Oh.
These things that she was thinking and saying, apparently, were things that she
Yeah, I
shouldn't
keep forgetting
know.
that she's only 14.
Yeah, she's 14 at the time. She shouldn't even know about these things.
No, she shouldn't.
Never mind feel this way. And it was freaking people out. And
Was she talking about it, like letting people know that this is what's going on?
Yeah.
Or
And it was particularly aimed at priests.
so she had a bit of a priest fetish.
Well, she was 14, so I don't think she had any sort of fetish.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd hope she wouldn't.
But something was going on, and like I said, these are things that she shouldn't even be. Oh, they shouldn't even be on our radar. Never mind thinking about them.
She should never have been exposed to this kind of a thing.
She was also getting reactions to sacred objects, so crucifixes, statues, Bibles, holy water, priests, and prayer were all things that triggered her and gave her a really strange response. So her dad.
It's weird that this demon's given her like sexual fantasies about priests, but yet she can't go anywhere near anything religious without making herself physically ill.
It's almost like he's
Strange that.
Whatever's going on with her, it's given her like an aversion therapy
Yeah.
because she's uncomfortable that she feels this way. It's presenting her with these feelings towards something that she used to like. I don't know.
It's weird. Yeah.
It is weird. Her dad, now I mentioned that he was a bit of a slime ball. There is a couple of strange stories about her dad, which I'll mention now because they might be important later. One of them was that he was having an affair with Anna's mum's sister.
Okay.
This is Auntie Mina.
Uh-huh.
And again, it's not confirmed. I've just rubbed my eye and I've got mascara on, so now I'm really aware of it.
Wait, it's not all over your face. You're good.
Are we sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Even if it was, it would just make me look emotional, I think, which is good for this story because it's a bit...
I'm so emo.
Yeah, so he apparently has been having an affair with Anna's auntie.
That's just not right.
It's not right.
Sister. Like...
And it continued after the mum had passed away.
Uh-huh.
And she, if she was aware of this could bother her.
Right.
But also there was another theory or another story, and this is more like a trigger warning. So
You're triggered.
if you're triggered, get lost because it's not nice. That he was sexually abusive to her as a child. And also that he'd offered himself into some sort of relationship with her that Auntie Mina knew about. And when...
Sorry, offered himself to his daughter into some sort of relationship.
Yeah. And when Anna declined, obviously, him and Auntie Mina weren't happy.
Wait.
Yeah.
Stop the bus.
Yeah, stop the clock. That is wrong.
This little girl has been sexually abused. Because that's definitely happened.
Oh, yeah.
And as a result, her child mind has done everything it can possibly do to protect itself. And it's going to fabricate this event in our head that isn't happening.
Yeah.
It's a serious breakdown of things that shouldn't be happening to a child. Where on earth is she getting these sexual fantasies from well, obviously, our father.
Yeah, maybe it's a control thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how she knows about this stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
if
absolutely.
she's
And to
going to
be
know
honest,
if he's doing it to her.
In my research and listening to other podcasts and stuff, no one's touched on that apart from you. That's a very good point.
That little girl has suffered,
Mm-hmm.
and our brain has done everything it can to rectify the situation in our head.
Yeah.
She should never have had to go through that. You got to
Maybe he's
think
trying to regain power.
It's the 1920s,
Mm.
so America's going through the deepest depression it's ever went through. So there's no money.
Mm.
They probably had very little.
Yeah.
You know, that period of time. I bet he was a drunk because they were
No
all
doubt.
on like gin and was it that Prohibition era as well?
Well, actually, I think at this point, she was born in 1888, I think. So it might be like the early 1900s that this is happening. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, there's going to be no law enforcement in that or around at that time that's going to intervene the way we would have social services and everything now if the situation's found.
Yeah.
I just think this little girl's went through a very, very, from what I've heard already, this little girl's went through a very traumatic experience that she should never have had to go through.
Definitely. And like I said, we don't know any of this is absolutely factual, but it is a common consensus throughout this entire story that this is her background. So that's unfortunately
it makes the story make sense.
It does, yeah. But the dynamic is obviously strange. She's living with him and Auntie Mina, a new stepmom, like
/ people who want her to be part of the relationship.
/ Fred and Rose, basically. Yeah. And they notice that Anna's behaviour is bizarre. And they think, there must be something wrong with her. Let's send out the doctors and see what's up with this chick because she's nuts.
She doesn't want to be in a relationship with her dad.
Yeah. The doctors examined her. They checked in on her mental health the best they could in those days, and they couldn't find anything wrong with her. Apparently she was physically healthy, mentally healthy, and normal in every sense. This is what led them to believe that she could be possessed. Yeah.
This poor little girl.
I know. There's another offshoot of this story now. This is another confusing part, which is that they send out the doctors think she's fine. Suddenly, stepmom and dad think she's possessed. The other story is that Auntie Mina is a witch. And when Anna declined her dad's sexual advances, she was cursed by Auntie Mina.
Got to think as well, this story originates not long after Salem.
Aye. A little bit long, but not that long.
When was Salem? That was the 1800s, wasn't it?
That was earlier.
Oh, was it?
I'm sure.
I thought Salem
Let's fact check, because I'm sure it was earlier.
Yeah, I think producer Alf's taking the dog for a walk, so I don't think we ever make it a fact
17th
check.
century, so about 100 years before, but still.
I think the whole premise of witches would have still been believed a lot heavier then as well.
1692 until 1693.
1600s makes sense.
Yeah.
It was the Pilgrims' time and stuff, wasn't it, when they were about?
I don't know, Declan, you keep flinging these milestones at me and I just didn't know the answer.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Don't know. So they think she's possessed, regardless of whether they think Auntie Mina's cursed her or not. They think she's possessed. More reasons to think she's possessed is that she suddenly starts to be able to talk in lots of different languages.
That's always a key factor in this, isn't it?
And
they can all speak Latin.
I find it strange that, right, so she's from German parents, so really I can believe that she speaks English and German.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would be, or maybe it's another European language would make sense.
Well, the other things is Latin, which is obvious, Hebrew, Italian, and Polish. That's strange.
The Polish one's strange.
And Italian, don't you think?
No, I think the Italian one kind of makes sense because it's very
popey.
Well, yeah, it's the home of the Catholicism, the Catholic religion, isn't it?
And obviously, if you're going to church and you're very religious, picking up on bits of Latin, maybe Hebrew, and like you said, Italian.
Well, Hebrew and Latin would probably make sense for the old ways, especially Hebrew was what the Bible was originally written in. Was Hebrew.
The Old Testament.
The old texts were written in Hebrew. So that makes sense if it was a genuine possession.
Yeah.
But it's weird how she was able to just pick up all these languages.
Yeah, it is strange. So, back to this little curse theory. There's two suggestions. Either Mina practiced witchcraft and cursed Anna, or Jacob, which is the dad, didn't mention his name before, used the occult a lot, and that's why he was such a anti-Christian.
Well, I thought you were going to say that the dad performed a ritual and had a demon put onto her.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to tell me originally, not that she was sexually
I think
abused.
that would make more sense in that dynamic. I don't want to put me mind in the mind of a paedophile, but I can imagine that his pride got hurt when he didn't get his own way because he's a villain.
Yeah.
So I could imagine he would do that out of spite if that was a thing. Why would Mina do it unless she's literally Rose West, like a Looney Tune? She could have been.
A Looney Tune.
But regardless, Anna's family decided to approach the church to get her some help. It seems very like...
To be honest, this church might have been safer hands to put her in than...
Yeah.
But if you're going to a church at that time of the history and say, oh, she's possessed, probably she's not actually going to get dressed all that well. Because she's clearly mentally unwell. And they're going to just read the Bible to her and put her in a dark room and chain her up. And she's going to resist it because she's probably mentally unstable.
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance she's possessed.
There's a chance. There's a chance. I'm not saying it's not real, but
so when
the
they
likelihood
reach
of
out
what this kid's been through.
Yeah. So when they reach out to the church, they get put in contact with a guy called Father Theophilus Risinger.
Please tell me you've got a photo already of that guy. Father Philadophilus. Oh, that's exactly what I thought he'd look like. That's exactly it.
There you go. And he came in, he observed. I'm really struggling to read today. He observed Anna's reactions to prayer, Latin, religious objects, holy water, and blessed food. And this is where the possession test gets interesting. Because he would run strange little experiments to see if she was really possessed, to see if she really had these genuine reactions to religious things. So one day he gives her a meal and she eats it and she's absolutely fine. Yummy, thank you. God bless. The next day he gives her a meal, and what he doesn't tell her is that they'd sprinkled some holy water over it, which obviously has no taste because it's just water that's been blessed. There's no reason she should have known that was there, and she threw a fit. She wouldn't touch it, she wouldn't go near it. How did she know?
That it had been blessed.
That it had been blessed, exactly. He also tested her with 2 bottles of water. One of them was holy water, one of them was not, and she knew which one was blessed, and she again threw a fit. So
that kind of does point to a demon inside of her.
That kind of does.
Yeah.
And on the 18th of June 1912, Father Risinger reportedly performed an exorcism on Anna. She was approximately 30 years old by then.
God, this has been going on for a long time.
It has indeed. And I think by this point, our dad and Auntie Mina are
dead,
deceased.
Oh, so she's free will of the church now.
Yeah. Some sort of Stockholm syndrome had obviously went on, and this is how long it took for her to get her first exorcism. And it was declared successful. So, live, laugh, love. She's absolutely fine.
She was fine after.
Yeah, it was like a total unevent. So straight afterwards, she was able to go back in the church. She was able to pray. She didn't have those horrible sexual thoughts anymore. And for a time, it felt like the problem had been solved. For a time.
She was mentally unwell and believed what was going on. And once the exorcism had finished, she thought she was fixed.
As the years passed, Anna's symptoms gradually started to return. Following the deaths of Mina and Jacob, she claimed that she was being tormented by their spirits. Which, if ghosts are real, by the sounds of Jacob and Mina, that doesn't surprise me. They're
they're going to get stuck in purgatory.
I'll torture her in real life and then
I'm gonna
torture in the
in death,
afterlife. Which checks out and absolutely sucks, to be honest. She thinks she's escaped them, and there they are, spectres at the end of her bed. Her old behaviour started to return, the rage, the obscene speech of all this rude sexual stuff that she shouldn't be thinking, the hatred of religious objects, violent thoughts and voices.
So why is Father Theodophilus not doing another?
Well, he does.
Oh.
Because obviously she's starting to panic, and at the age of 46, she's desperate and she reaches out to him again.
So we're like 16 years on here from our first exorcism.
So she's obviously probably had a couple of years where she was fine and life had started to resume the best it could for her because she'd had such a sad life. And then
Things
when it
started
got to
coming
a
back.
point where, because like I said, she was so aware of what she was going through. It's not like
Yeah, she
was
was
blacking
with
out.
it, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Like, all the way through.
Yeah, it was like maybe that there was two things inside of her, two personalities, and she could hear them both.
She might have had bipolar.
Very possible. Or schizophrenia.
Split personality disorder.
But she reaches out to Father Reisinger again, and he's obviously like 800-year-old by now.
Yeah, he looked 800 in that.
That might have been a picture of
At the end, yeah.
So this is when we come back to 1928. And obviously by now he's done loads of exorcisms. He's like a
Pro.
G. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, what's that exorcist called?
The Exorcist.
We'll go for that. We covered him in...
The Exorcist. Oh, you're on about his actual name. I was going to say, because the Exorcist is the person doing the exorcism, not the person who is possessed.
Yeah, I was thinking about the guy in the rolling door thing, but I can't remember his name now. But he was the Exorcist, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the Pope's exorcist, wasn't he?
He was top boy.
That's a good movie, actually. Have you ever seen the Pope's Exorcist?
No.
Who in Les Mis plays Javert? What's his name?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe plays the Pope's exorcist, and he does it all in like Italian.
Really?
Such a good film. I can't believe you haven't seen that.
I know sometimes I get a bit trippy with demons and exorcism movies.
Those are my favourite horrors.
I do think
like my
that they're
favourite
best.
horror movie is like an exorcism, a possessed person, the Catholic Church, and all this underground exorcism. I love it.
There was one I watched as a kid, and I think it wasn't that scary to other people, but it really freaked me out, and it was Paranormal Entity.
Yeah, I remember that film.
And there was I'm sure it was that film anyway, and there was a nasty exorcism in it, and I was like,
I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't like it, because I was like, well, this could happen to me in any
Tell
moment.
You what spooked me as a child? I think, is it American Werewolf in London? There's a scene in that, like, I think the scene's called Hospital Wood.
Oh.
And there's this, the hospital turns into just being in a woods, so like the hospital bed's like in the woods or something.
Yeah.
I think this is how I've never watched the movie since.
Yeah.
And I was a
Trauma.
literal young child when I watched it.
Memory from trauma.
Oh yeah, I was actually like 5-year-old or something. And my dad was like, "You'll be scared," and I was like, "No, I want to watch it." And then this werewolf thing like pops up on this, and I shit myself.
It's funny how something stays with you like that.
But then for years as a kid, I would see it at my bedroom window, like in my head. You know what I mean? Like, hide under me.
That was like me when Lady Cassandra blew up on Doctor Who. That really scarred me.
I wasn't expecting that.
You know when something really bothers you, like internally.
Lady Cassandra blown up. Was you
If you
top
don't know
fan?
what I'm on about.
Moisturise me.
Madam Hooch. That's who that was.
Is it really?
Yeah. Could never look at her the same way again.
I can't now. I'm just going to see like this stretched face.
Yeah, with that brain and
Right, carry on. Where were we up to?
I don't know.
Can you remind us?
By 1928, Reisinger had reportedly become an experienced exorcist. He had participated in around 19 of them, and they'd all been allegedly successful. But one of them included hers.
Which clearly wasn't successful because she's coming back for round 2.
And he was concerned when he heard back from Anna because he thought he fixed her. And 16 years later, she is begging for his help.
His entire career is about to crumble down because it clearly doesn't work.
Well, he assessed the situation and he trusted that she was possessed again because he'd been through it with her before. And he said, right, this time we're going to have to turn it up a notch. We're going to have to get more privacy, more time, more priests, physical assistance, and we want to take you somewhere far, far away.
Wait, we're only just now going to this far, far away place?
We're only just now going to that far, far away.
Fucking hell, I thought we were already there.
No, we've been in Wisconsin this entire time.
Oh my God, I need another can of Monster. Come on,
I know. I don't know if it's the way I'm telling this one, because it's such a lot of gum.
No, I honestly, I'm locked in.
He's gripped.
I'm gripped.
And this is the second exorcism. This is the Earling possession because they ship her off to Earling, Iowa. Yeah. And they choose this place because Reisinger actually has a friend there called Father Joseph Stryger. And Stryger is the local priest in Iowa. And he's like, you should come over here because there's just no one here and you'll be fine. And he had access to the Franciscan Convent.
Like where the nuns live. Yeah.
Listen to him, not me. Anna is taken away from home because she may have had familiar triggers and they didn't want that. Also, they didn't want, if there was a demon inside of her, they didn't want the demon to feel familiar. They've been inside of
want-
her
yeah,
for 16 years.
They wanted to take it out of its comfort zone.
Yeah. It's like that scene in Stranger Things where they take Will to the barn.
Mhm.
Spoiler if you've never seen it. To get
Wait, is this the newest
Vecna
season?
out, the Mind Flayer out of him. No.
No, that's
This is season 2.
Yeah, it's season 2 then.
Because the Mind Flayer won't know where he's at.
Yeah.
Nerd trivia. By doing this and taking her somewhere else, it meant that her neighbours and the people in her life may not know. She might be able to get away with it. If she can get freed from all this, she can come back and hopefully resume life. And to protect her identity, which is why we're not saying her real name. Just to be nice, even though she's dead.
I was going to say this lady won't be alive anymore.
She's well dead. But still. The exorcism was... Oh, wait. Let me just go back a little bit. Earling appeared perfect because it was small, religious, isolated. It was accessible by a railway, which is very important in those times because they weren't just like getting an Uber.
Oh yeah, you weren't getting around like you are today.
Yeah, and Anna could travel under any name that she wanted because no one would know her. No one could challenge it. A handful of people knew about this whole thing, and that was Father Reisinger, Father Steiger, 2 nuns, a housekeeper. 2 nuns and a housekeeper. McCadens made it sound like there was someone else. And me. And they believed that the exorcism would go on without the town learning the truth, however. They did learn the truth. That's not a big part of the story, but as you can imagine, that sort of backfires. Yeah. 300 people in this town, they're going to notice a strange person coming in the middle of the night with a bag over their head.
Yeah.
Screaming for Mary. That's what I thought happened anyway. So she arrives in the August of 1928. She travelled by train, as I mentioned, and she would have had to enter this building full of crucifixes, statues, Bibles, nuns, all of our trigger things. And for someone who already reacted violently to religious surroundings...
She's not going to go in without a fuss, is she?
Yeah, she was very distressed when she went in. Within hours, she was presented with food, and again, he sort of went back to his old things.
Let's
he was
bless
like,
some.
Yeah. And the nuns blessed the food without telling her, and she refused to eat it straight away. So she knew. And that was for Father Reisinger, like.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tick.
It's the same guy's back again. At this point, she starts to do something new that she hasn't done before. She started to purr, hiss, and meow like a cat.
Oh, Mrs. Pam.
Like Mrs. Pam.
Mrs. Pam. I wish she just jumped up on the table as she did
like that last time when I was like... the sisters believe that she had been somehow detected the blessing on the food, obviously. Mm-hmm. But they're not sure why she turned into a cat.
Like McGonagall.
Yeah. I was going to quote that whole first scene of Philosopher's Stone there, but better not. Are the rumours true, Albus? Yes, the good and the bad.
You couldn't help yourself, could you?
The next day, so the 18th of August, 1928, I was checking that wasn't like today. It's not.
God, it could have been.
The exorcism began. She was placed on an iron bed. She was tied down using restraints, and several of the more hench nuns held her down.
What does a hench nun look like?
I don't know. They were just like...
We need an AI model of a hench nun.
Come to my church because I've got loads of strong nuns.
Ripped nuns.
Yeah, they're all on their own machine waiting for someone to come in.
And everything.
This nun can bench. And Father Reisinger began reading prayers, the prayers of exorcism.
Mm-hmm.
Elikanama.
It's the rites of exorcism.
Well, on my notes it says the prayers of exorcism.
It's the rites of exorcism. Do you remember when I did that whole thing before when Lauren was like, the big
Bible.
book.
Yeah.
Big book.
Almost at once when the exorcism starts, she falls into an altered or unconscious state. So she becomes like, what's it called, lucid.
Yeah, you'd have like a lucid dream.
Yeah.
Or
her eyes remain tightly closed and the voices seem to emerge out of her even though they weren't hers. It was very like, Bill Wilkins.
Bill Wilkins.
And she didn't remember much when she did come round. During this exorcism, she broke free from the restraints, and witnesses to the exorcism claimed to have seen her lift from the bed, float towards the corner of the room, and she was sort of like clung to the top, like what you'd imagine out of a horror film. She was like all like distorted and like
in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
Why is that such a creepy place? It's like something...
Just exactly
like
there.
Like,
Like if I turned around and there was some chick, like some malnourished exorcism woman.
I'd go and get her a double cheesy, mate. A McBoffin.
Yeah. Mozzarella dippers are back on. Have one of them.
Oh, let's go to Mickey D's.
With hot honey. Have you seen they're doing a hot honey McFlurry?
I have, but their hot honey's not very nice.
It's too spicy.
It's too hot. It just doesn't taste like hot honey.
Oh, I'm having spaghetti and meatballs tonight.
Oh, yeah. Bloody with hot honey.
No, I should. Maybe. Now you've said that.
The Domino's hot honey's the best.
I was going to get a Domino's snack, but Becky really wants meatballs.
Do the meatballs.
She said, I've never had meatballs at home.
No, do the meatballs. You're doing so good at being off the takeaways. You need to keep it up.
Thank you.
So...
Domino's tomorrow. Yeah. Domino's when I haven't told a podcast that I'm trying to be healthy. So Father Risinger sees her like all cracked up at the top of the room, and he's not even phased because he's done 19 exorcisms. This is nothing. He just tells these hench nuns to pull her back down. It's like,
right, come on, get up.
Get her down. And she starts to make these animal sounds again, but more like
aggressive. Like
animal predators this time, not just like a cat. Like a lion, a hyena, and a pack of wild beasts, quote unquote. This is what they said. She sounded like a pack of wild beasts. The sounds were described as far louder than Anna's ordinary voice, and some accounts claim that they could have been heard outside of the convent. I can't say anything.
So Whoopi Goldberg lived. I
will follow him.
Follow him wherever he may go. Right, we'll get copyrighted.
Yeah. They get her back down, the restrainer, and she starts spitting, kicking, biting. She struck Father Risinger across the chops.
She struck?
That's what it says. She struck him. And believers described that this was an example of supernatural strength.
Because it was like mega hard. Yeah.
And because she's a chick.
Was it not just one of the hench nuns being like, "It's me fucking chance this"?
Yeah, just wellied. This is for taking away my rowing machine.
I don't know why, right? But I'm just like imagining like 3 like proper moody Irish nuns. Right, come on now, Father.
I'm imagining like white chicks but in nun costumes.
That was a leg slap of that.
I'm imagining the what they call the Wayne brothers.
The Wayne brothers.
Let's just get
back to that one.
She also started to vomit repetitively.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bit gross, this. And she was apparently doing this up to 10 times in a single day. She was also urinating and defecating. And
I mean, we've all got to urinate and defecate every day.
But witnesses said the quantity seemed impossible. Like she was pooping
everything.
so much. Like no human can poop this much. And the smell became so overpowering that the sessions had to stop when this started. Obviously, when the room was filling up with sick
shit.
And yeah. Risinger. I can't remember how I said that before.
Risinger? I don't know.
Father R. He demanded to know that who was possessing Anna at this point, and allegedly there were many things that was possessing her. One voice identified itself as Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
Americans say Beelzebub, don't they?
Definitely Beelzebub.
But on this song, it's Beelzebub.
On this song, you mean Year Zero by the second most...
Hmm?
The greatest band of all time, Ghost, who have a song with it in. It's Beelzebub as well. So anyway.
Beelzebub. Now I know it offends you both so much.
We're English. We'll use the English language properly.
Go on then, who's he known as?
Who?
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub? Yeah. Well, he's Satan, isn't he?
No, he's the Lord of the Flies, hun.
That's who he is.
Maybe he is Beelzebub after all.
Lord of Flies.
And he's a powerful figure in hell. His voice...
So why are we not just calling on Dominus like we did the last time?
No.
In the name of Dominus, and then everything was
immediately.
Good. Yeah. In the name of Domino's. And then we all went down, got a hot honey pizza.
For a Domino's. The voice claimed that Anna's father had helped place it Beelzebub inside of her.
We haven't missed this eclipse yet, have we?
Well, I'm just thinking now, I've actually missed picking my wife up from work. We're 4 minutes late.
Hey, we're 4 minutes late.
So I'm getting cancelled. Also inside of her was Judas. Judas. Who is known to have betrayed Jesus,
I mean, that's going right up to the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
and the voice allegedly urged Anna to kill herself using a rope. This is what Judas said. And he was even like, there's a rope. Kill yourself. Again, trigger warning. I've just said it too late, but sorry. And the other things that were inside of her was Jacob and Mina.
You said Jacob. I thought you meant Jacob from Twilight.
Yeah, Jacob, Edward, and Charlie were all inside. Other things happened to her during this exorcism. Her face swelled, her abdomen enlarged, her limbs twisted.
Yeah, they always like break their limbs a bit, don't
Her
they?
skin changed colour. Features became difficult to recognise, and her stomach allegedly expanded dramatically before suddenly returning back to normal.
The beat in that was lovely.
Like a big pump.
Yeah.
Holy water was applied to Anna. She screamed and she hissed and she said that her skin was burning, all the usual tropes. The priests at this point were knackered.
Of course they would have
They were sleep deprived, surrounded by foul smells, listening to threats, watching Anna physically deteriorate. It was hard to watch. It stunk of poop. And tension began to rise between Father Steiger and Father Reisinger, who were friends beforehand. They thought that,
this was
in
gonna be
hindsight, the demons inside of her were like tearing them apart, making them fall out.
easy. Well, that's exactly what they'll try and do, won't they?
Yeah. During the period of the exorcism, because this happened over like a couple of weeks, I think, Father Steiger had like another bit of business to attend to. I think it said he was reading the last rites to a sick woman in a farmhouse. And as he's driving there, is in the daylight, apparently he claimed that everything went dark. He couldn't see a thing, and he crashed into a bridge. His car was trashed, but he did survive. And
Well, that just sounds like a laryngism or something.
it does, but the demon was quick to be like, that was me. The demon took claim for that, said, I made you crash.
Did he say that without knowing the crash had happened, though?
I think so. I don't assume that Anna would know.
Yeah.
In and out of these weird states. Flies and mosquitoes also began to appear around Anna, which is interesting because Beelzebub, whatever
Lord
you
of
want to call them,
Flies.
is the Lord of the Flies. But it also could have been because the room was full of urine, feces, and it was August in Iowa, and it's a hot
warm.
place.
Yeah.
You could argue that. The sisters, so the nuns, they often heard screaming and howling in her room. They could hear furniture moving. They also noticed her bed shaking, which is a typical, whenever we've covered possessions, everyone's bed shaking. And the nuns started to become ill. Maybe it was because of the stress or the situation they were in, but they also experienced nightmares, felt watched, and even became afraid to enter the room. The priests and the sisters started to work shorter shifts because it was just too much for them. Because Earling was a small community, Anna's arrival in the presence of the outside clergy and all the rest of it caused people to notice. People were going down to the church on a night and being like, what's going on in there? Are you lying in there, El?
Well, you would, if your local kids are knocking about would hear it, then I'd be like, Mum, I was by near the church and I could hear this
and your
last
mum would be
scream.
like, shut up!
Shut up! Stop telling tales!
And the neighbours obviously started to discuss what they thought was happening. It's difficult to know how many townspeople actually witnessed anything, but there are a lot of reports that back up these stories based on the people in the town. Could it all just be Chinese whispers? Who knows? A lot of people did say that they heard all this chaos unfolding, yeah. The actual exorcisms took place between the 18th and the 26th of August, the 13th and the 20th of September, and the 15th and the 23rd of December.
So they booked a couple of holidays in.
Yeah. They did it in blocks.
Yeah.
I don't know what she did in the meantime.
Probably to give her a rest, though, from it, because it'll be very tolling on her.
Yeah, well, it says here they stopped and restarted because Anna became physically weak. She was eating very little. She was exhausted.
They'll need to fatten her up and get her ready for an exorcism, and then...
So the last session was obviously from the 15th of December, and Christmas was approaching. The town started to celebrate the birth of Christ, and it was a very holy time. But inside of this church, like, demons were being battled. So it's quite a weird, like, just juxtaposition. And on the 23rd of December, so the last day, apparently Anna just bolted upright from her restraints. Her body tensed up. She shouted in a voice that witnesses did not recognise that the alleged entities had gone, and she collapsed.
Might have been Dominus.
Well, isn't it
God's
interesting
warrior.
that, like, quite a few of the possessions that we've covered now and looked into, they go through all of this hell, literally.
And then this...
And then it's just like, oh, it's gone now. thanks.
Because this other voice comes that gets rid of it.
Yeah. It's almost like these priests...
Be Dominus.
Are the priests just... I don't know how an exorcism works. Are the priests just summoning someone to help from the other side?
They're obviously blessing the person. And you know, you haven't been baptised, have you?
I have.
You have.
At the age of 14.
You were baptised. So a baptism is an exorcism. It's the same thing. You're pushing out the bad spirits, and you're accepting God. The exorcism is pushing the demons out and trying to get the person to accept God in their heart, and then Dominus will come and chuck them away.
What a guy.
That's a very brief understanding of it, but you know.
Yeah, makes sense though, doesn't it?
So I think like the priest's calling upon God and his army of angels to come and help. Yeah. And as you know, they've got to prove their faith for God to come and help. Or send one of his skivvies.
Well, obviously it works. It's just so anticlimactic after everything.
It is. They're kind of just like, it's over.
They don't do that in the films because...
No, of course.
Which almost gives it a bit of realism in the story. It's not this big cacophony of crap.
It'll just be over.
Yeah.
But there was no like loud bangs like in the other one where there was
a
big
thunderclap
and everything like...
Apparently not. Apparently it was just the air suddenly cleared.
And everything just went back to normal.
Yeah. So... She apparently returned to a relatively normal life despite everything she'd obviously been through.
Again.
Yeah. Some accounts say that she remained free from the worst symptoms. Others suggested that she experienced occasional disturbances later through life, like an aversion to a crucifix. I don't know. Some of the nuns who worked on this, some of these hench nuns, were actually transferred after the events.
Yeah. To a different convent.
Because they just couldn't deal with what had happened there, and it was actually demolished in the 90s.
Oh, so it's no longer with us.
No.
The building.
Father Reisinger became increasingly famous for his involvement in exorcisms, and he was featured in Time magazine in 1936. But Father Steiger kept a much lower profile. He wasn't like, look what I've done.
Yeah.
And he was deeply affected by what had happened, and he was like traumatized.
It's traumatic. That's a lot for anyone to put
If you want to believe it, he put him in a car crash. He could have died.
Well, yeah. And the thing is, as well, even if this isn't real, to him it is.
Yeah.
And he's going to believe what everything is going on is demons and or whatever, or it could really be, or it might not be, whatever. But you know, that's going to emotionally scar you for the rest of your life.
It was all documented by.
Is there any recordings of it or anything?
Yeah, so the whole thing was documented and published in a sort of manifesto called Begone Satan. And
I'll have to have a flick through this.
Yeah, well, it was originally used as like a manual for people in the church.
To do an exorcism.
Yeah, but now it's like, you can just get it off Amazon probably. Catholic exorcists and Church of England deliverance teams have both reported receiving more inquiries. This is what's interesting. So basically... we all have this common misconception that exorcisms are like olden days.
Oh yeah, no, they're not. They still happen.
Since COVID, they've like
blown up.
Like the church are getting in early 2026. Church of England officials said requests for helping in perceived evil or paranormal activity has increased, especially following the pandemic, which means that it's still going on. And there's obviously, especially in our country, such a drop in religion.
Faith.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think why we think that is because obviously we're an established, very old country.
Yeah.
And religion's had a long time to die off in this country, and we can, you know, we now believe other things. But in a country like America, their entire country is built upon Christianity.
Yeah.
Their politics is like their financial systems are all built upon religion as the foundation of the Constitution, of the rights of the people, and all that kind of stuff. So that's why in America it is a very ingrained thing that, you know, a lot of them are religious because the country hasn't had as long to let that fade away. You know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of those over there think to be involved in a lot more. But it's weird that in this country, the Church of England, which obviously isn't the Catholic Church and isn't known for doing exorcisms, and as I said, deliverance is what they call it
Yeah.
in the English church. Usually, a lot of the time, I think we even spoke about it before. Like a Church of England person would be like, I think you need to go to the Catholic Church and let them deal with this.
Yeah, we did mention that in
that tends to be
Roland
what you
Dahl.
get. It usually is Catholicism that deals with
Yeah.
exorcisms and all that. But as I said, they happen every day. When you get baptized, that's an exorcism.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
are banishing evil and accepting God into your heart. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm safe. You're
Yeah.
safe when we go on ghost hunts. I've got Christ within me.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't want to ditch religion ever.
Nor do I. I don't personally believe it.
Yeah.
But the more, if we're going out on these hunts and I start seeing things that I can't explain happen, if that's real, well then that must be real. And then if that's real, well then that's real and that's real.
Definitely. This is my sort of, and I know for a lot of people that sounds dumb because it's like seeing isn't believing.
Believing is, you've got to know.
But I'm open to it. But I'm just reluctant with anything that doesn't have any hard fact that I can just be proven. But that is it. That is the story. She obviously has passed away since then. She had a troubled life, regardless of whether she was possessed or not. She'd had a horrible time of it. And when we tell these stories, obviously they're spooky and we put some dramatic
flair.
I mean, we don't lie. We tell you everything that we found from the research, but it's always important to just step back and remember this was an entire life. This was a person.
This is literally some little girl's entire life from being
and
14.
There's some horrific things that go on in this world that we don't know about. And one day in 20 years' time, someone will probably sell a podcast about something. And you've just got to remember that these are all real people. At the end of the day,
this little girl suffered. Yeah. Well, and grown woman suffered, so we could sit here and talk about it today.
Yeah.
And I think...
Take this as raising awareness.
I hate that word.
Which bit?
Raising awareness.
It's two words.
Because that's, well, I know that, but that's just what rich white women do to feel good about themselves.
Raise awareness.
Is raise awareness. They have a gala dinner and they all wear
but
fancy...
they're not raising awareness to something important. They're raising awareness to themselves.
No, I know, but they'll do it for in name of a charity so they feel good about themselves. Or we're raising awareness, but they won't even know what they're raising awareness for.
Yeah, it's just so they can have a nice dress and swan about with a glass of wine.
Like a golf course and, you know, the family lodge or, you know, whatever they do.
The lake house.
The lake house, yeah. Fuck them.
But that's us.
That's it. That's me.
That's me.
I do have a would you rather question.
Do you?
How's your father?
Yeah.
Would you rather?
Would you rather be present in the room during the exorcism with the priests and the nuns or the hench
tough
nuns?
Yeah.
Or, because they'd be like, if you get in the way, they're like, feck off in the corner.
Because I've got the rope on Derry.
But, like, would you rather go in the room afterwards and clean up the mess?
Oh, I'd rather watch The Exorcism.
I think I'd rather watch The Exorcism.
You know what? When I worked in like pubs and stuff, cleaning up.
The girls' toilets were always the worst, weren't they?
I did a stint when I was like broke. I don't know if you were working with me at that time, where I was also the cleaner.
I remember when you were the cleaner.
So I like said, it's an extra couple of hours, and I open that day anyway, so I'll come in earlier and I'll clean up. And there was this time I had to like clean chunky sick out of the urinal.
It was on the floor, the urinal as well, wasn't it? It was a floor trough in vibes.
And the cleaner before used to just pile it full of urinal blocks.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
So I was just cleaning all these blocks out and bits of kebab stick. Anyway, I'd rather watch that chick
be in the corner,
scrambled like an egg in the ceiling.
With the safety of the hench Irish nuns.
Yeah, because I could just hide behind them.
Yeah.
What should we call them?
Oh, I don't know.
Patty and Mo.
Patty. In my head, there's 3, but there's only 2, wasn't there?
No, actually, there could be 3.
There could be 3.
They didn't specify.
They didn't?
Patty, Mo and...
Selma.
I was going to say Brenda.
Brenda. It's not very Irish. And none of them are very Irish. Anyway, have you got a would you rather question?
I don't.
You don't?
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Oh, well, I mean, that's fine.
Should we just...
Let's go and watch the
Should we just
solar
up?
eclipse.
Yeah, it's a solar eclipse
it's
tonight.
Solar eclipse tonight, so you know what day we're recording.
We're going to shoot the drone in the sky and watch it on my phone. So
and then we might needlessly put it in a video at some point.
Yeah, for a bit of ambience. Yeah.
So anyway, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, send that pigeon a postcard to the PO box that yet again we still don't have.
Maybe send us a raven, because that's a bit more on brand.
I know someone that would send us a raven.
Do?
I'll work with her, yeah.
Does she have a raven?
No, but I think she used to be friends with a crow.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
When you were saying that, I could hear the music in my head start.